Hey, it's David Sherry. I coach business owners of million-dollar plus businesses. And today I want to talk with you about a simple understanding about how to get better at delegation, especially when you want to be communicating more clearly with the people on your team what you expect to get done. Because this is one of the big challenges that most entrepreneurs have. They either lack clarity for what they actually need help with. And so they say, I have these employees, I have this assistant, whatever it might be, but I'm not actually sure what work to give them. Or I've got so much work that I'm trying to delegate to other people, but I just can't figure out exactly how do I communicate what needs to get done. And sometimes I can even feel a little bit as a business owner like I feel a little guilty putting this work on someone else. And that's something that not many people talk about when it comes to the business owner or the CEO is sometimes they feel guilty delegating work to other people. So I want to talk about a framework that's going to help you think about your delegation and hopefully solve those problems I mentioned, whether it's lack of clarity about what to delegate or how to communicate more clearly. Before I move on, if you enjoy these videos, please comment. I love chatting with people in the comments and just hearing what questions you have. So I'd love to answer a question in a future video. Now let's talk about this. The place to start when it comes to delegating is not the place you would expect. My recommendation that I talk to with entrepreneurs is to always start at the most zoomed out view. I talk about this like it's a telescope. A telescope can look very wide at the entire night sky or zoom in specifically onto one planet or star. Whenever you're considering delegating to a team or other people, start with the widest view. And what's funny about this is it almost sounds stupid. If you have someone on your team or you hired somebody and you're thinking about delegating, start from the perspective of what is this person's role? What is the important project that needs to happen this month or this quarter or this year? Simple questions. What actually matters to the business right now? Just start so zoomed out that you think in the context of the business or their role. So if you're trying to figure out what do I delegate next, what actually matters in the business right now? List the top 3 most important things before you think about getting in the weeds of one little project detail. Start all the way zoom back. And this also gives you now the context to work within. And this is where setting quarterly goals and vision can help a lot because then you already have that context built. So start zoomed out and say, what is this person best at? What do I want this person to spend 80% of their time doing? That's a great question to start when you consider what you want to delegate. And if they're already spending 80% of their time on that thing, now we're just talking about the next 20%. Or are they misaligned with where they're spending their focus? So start really zoomed out and then progressively move in. This person's role is to lead brand marketing in our business. This assistant's role is to make my life more effective and efficient. Okay, which areas of my life do I want to make more effective and or efficient? Or which part of brand marketing does the business need most attention on? The reason this is important is because if you don't have the people you're delegating to focus on the most important things, it doesn't matter if you accurately communicate some small, non-important, trivial work that they can do, because then they're still missing the entire value add they can provide for you or for the business. So we always want to re-anchor to what's most important. And then from there, we can move forward and get more granular. I know this person's focused on what's most important for their role. They're focused on brand marketing. They're focused on the right area of brand marketing. Now we can get into the weeds of what is it that I'm not seeing happen that I feel is most valuable that this person can achieve, and how do I talk with them about working on this aspect of their work. This brings me to another point, which is most times when you're frustrated with communicating with people on your team or coworkers or employees, oftentimes the miscommunication is actually a lot smaller than we get frustrated because of one tiny thing that happened. We think, oh, everything about the role is off. It's actually, they're doing a great job in all of these areas. It's just this one little piece. And that makes the conversation that you get to have with your employee much better, much more effective, because you get to say, this is going well, this is going well, this is going well. We're in the right area, but here's the particular thing I'd like to discuss with you related to your role. My last bit of advice, and this came from a conversation with a client I had recently, is having these conversations around feeling like you're not communicating properly, or they're not doing the work that you're really wanting, or you feel like they're just not doing well in the role, it can feel overwhelming and frustrating and scary. And a place to begin as well is in a more lighthearted spirit. So many things in business can get so serious. It's not that I'm not taking the business seriously. It's just, let's approach it from a frame that isn't so grave and serious, and a tone that's not so grave and serious. So you might approach the conversation by saying, hey, I just want to take 10 minutes. I'm really happy with a lot of work that you're doing. I just want to figure out how we can talk about this one area. Just bring a more light frame. Almost have fun with figuring out what is it that's going on here that I can fix or correct that's going to go better. And come from a frame that's very collaborative as well. So it's light, it's collaborative. I'm trying to figure out how we can make this work. We're on the same team. Let's do this together. Oh, I must have made a mistake and not been that clear about this before, but I want to approach it in a way that's going to be more simple and make your job easier and more productive. Just bring some positivity, see how that's responded to. The reason I'm saying that is because it tends to be more well responded to when we bring a positive, lighthearted tone than we're very serious and that freaks people out and it becomes this bigger drama than it needs to be. So in summary, telescope out to the widest lens of your business and what's important, and move in from there so that you know you're delegating work that's actually important. Second, when you have a communication with someone, bring a frame that is positive, light, and start from that frame. And then you can always get more serious if you need to get more serious. So I hope these two ideas around delegation get you thinking and get you moving into some new action as it relates to delegating. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them here. I'd love to answer them. And with that, I'll be back again very soon.